Well, I'm not sure I have a whole lot to say about channeling, channeled masters, channeled teachings. Makes a neat name. Channel Master was wrote in one of my notes. There's a video to do. I never really fleshed it out. I guess I have trouble with it. Pretty much in life, I go by the kind of Occam razor type thing, or to make it simple, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. That's something to live by. That kind of works. But recently I started listening to the raw material, which was channeled back in the 80s by primarily a group of 3 people, primarily a woman who's still alive barely. Well, last I heard she was improving. But this was back in the 80s, over a course of maybe, I forget the exact, I should look it up. I wasn't really intending to talk on this. But within a short time, I think maybe like 3 years or something, they recorded several things with her channeling Ra. And Ra claims to be this one of the same people who made contact with the Egyptians way back. And of course, Ra is kind of like Bashar's, where it's not necessarily one person who's talking, it's more like a committee talking to you. Anyway, they teach the law of one, and it's a very kind of a pure teaching if you really get to the essence of it. You take the garbage out and look at the purity of it. It's kind of interesting, and it's kind of beyond what you would think would come out of this woman. Not that she's any kind of dimwit, but you have to be pretty darn brilliant to come up with this stuff that Ra, quoted as saying, teaching. And she does teach, you can, Ruckert, what's her first name? Her last name's Ruckert, Carla Ruckert. And she's still alive, and she's still a lot of other teachings. And they're not dull, but they're not to the level of, this raw stuff is so densely packed, you gotta do what Scott Mandecker does and, just tear it apart little by little and expand on it, unpack it, as he says. So, I do find that teaching impressive, even though it comes from a group of people who were, investigating all this paranormal stuff. They were kind of a flaky group at one point. They were even looking at how to fake this kind of stuff, so that could make you real suspicious of them and their motives. The Bashar material is pretty interesting, I don't really see anything really wrong with most of what he says. It's, I don't know if it's going to be a plebeian or, so now I'm with the protest of Scott Mandecker against the plebeians, the people from the Orion Belt, are all supposed to be evil. I don't know if that's really fair to everybody from that area is evil. There's probably several different civilizations in that area. Anywho. I didn't like this one that a friend recommended, Chiron. I guess I'll have to try to listen to more of it. But it just sounded so much like what Scott was warning about, in his videos, the hallmarks of what you'd find in the, the plebeians, giving information out and, little by little and being really manipulative about it. I found this Chiron stuff to be really talking down to the little children, and it was really kind of vague as far as technology it gave, In general, though, fantastic claims require extraordinary proof. So, I guess, if it really speaks truth to you and you really examine it, take it for what it is. Don't necessarily take something that's channeled, anything different than, what a good heavy-duty author might write, who does have a body and is alive on this planet. There's nothing special about not being here. if anything, it makes you more suspicious. We can't check you out. You can't. The common man can't ask you a question. The reporters can't interview you. So, I don't know what else to say about it. I don't blow the whole thing out as being useless. There certainly is opportunity for misuse. It's claimed that a lot of times, they've had contact with Ra, like Moses or somebody, and then eventually they get switched over to somebody else, on the dark side from the Orion, people. And there's several examples of, things that started out positive and then turned negative because they got taken over. Channeling, switched from one entity to a different entity. It wasn't so positive. And, my Christian friend would definitely tell me that anything, is either an angel or a demon, basically. So anything to do with any of this kind of stuff would just be totally verboten. So I guess you pay your spiritual coins and take your spiritual chances. Anything you investigate takes a little energy. I've investigated lots and lots of different paths and religions and philosophies. But, there is a criticism to be made there against doing that versus having a focused approach, even though something that might be a little bit dull. And really staying focused and charmed with it, I guess I'm not charmed with anything, though.